An NTTV special report, UNTPrez Talks with Dr. Neal Smatresk.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of UNTPrez Talks, where we sit down and have a real conversation with UNT President Neal Smatresk. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Busy, like you said, busy.
It's an absolutely gorgeous day up here on campus.
Spring is finally here, finally shedding the winter coats.
I hope people get out and take a look at the trees. They're perfectly budded out right now, and enjoy a little spring weather.
See if they can finally catch Lucky in action.
Yeah, I know. Little rascals skedaddled, I think.
Well, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Recently, Governor Abbott passed an executive order regarding the vaccine passports. How has this affected UNT's plans, if it has, regarding vaccinating students before they come back to class?
Well, we still encourage everyone to get the vaccination who's eligible. We believe it's safe and effective. I've had it. Most of the faculty and staff now on campus have had it. We haven't seen any problems with it. So the first thing I want to tell everyone is get the vaccine. It will protect you against the regular variations of COVID and now some of the new, more exotic variants. My issue with the governor's statement is simply we're in a kind of a don't ask, don't tell circumstance. Even if we said we want you to have a COVID vaccination, like many campuses around the country are doing and requiring, we couldn't determine whether someone had because we're not allowed to ask that status. So we thought, well, there's going to be people who don't want the vaccination for a variety of reasons. We can't really be in the enforcement business. So we're not going to ask. We're simply going to encourage people to get vaccinated as best they can so that we can have the safest fall reopening possible.
So UNT will not be making sure that students are vaccinated before they are allowed to come back on campus, like the meningitis vaccine that we have to get?
No, we won't. And under the limited use restrictions that they have right now, the emergency authorizations, we couldn't do that anyhow.
And moving on a little bit from there, a little bit further in the future, will there still be online class options available for students this fall that still they possibly can't get the vaccine and they don't feel comfortable coming back to class in person yet?
Well, I'd say anybody who wants it and is eligible for it will be able to have it. I'm very confident in that because we're giving them out here to students, faculty, and staff members already. What I would say is that we will have online classes as we always have. We will have online degrees that we've always had. It won't be anything like the scope that we saw during COVID. So we anticipate it'll be more like 25% online, and the rest will be face-to-face.
Okay. Well, when UNT spoke about reopening campus, including a press release that your name was signed on, UNT spoke about a robust in-person campus. What does that mean outside of the classroom?
It means we'll have events. We'll have large-scale events like homecoming and some of the things that are just great traditions here. So I'm excited about it. I love it when we have University Day, when we remember our fallen Eagles, when we have football and basketball, pep rallies, all of those kinds of things add to the campus spirit. Clubs and organizations will be able to run events. We'll have people out in the mall and food served periodically in large public settings. That's what a robust, full college experience is going to look like. It'll be like it was before COVID, for the most part.
And tonight's celebration of the UNT Mean Green basketball, is that our first step into trying to get a little bit more back to normal?
Well, we are getting back to normal. A lot of the clubs have authorizations to meet in, still socially distanced, still masked. And by the way, the celebration of the men's basketball team tonight is 15% capacity, masked and distanced. So it's following the same rules the basketball season had. So it isn't the first, but I think it might be one of the most fun.
Most fun to everyone. Comes out and celebrates the Mean Green making history.
Yeah, I'm wearing my green coat just for that.
Perfectly in celebration. Now, UNT, like I said, made history at March Madness. What does this mean for our reputation as a school, both athletically and just as a school in general?
Well, one of the perplexing things, especially when I first got here, was that here was a school that was very large, one of the biggest in the country, and I would go out of state and people would go, North Texas, where's that? And I'd be like, North Texas? And they wouldn't know the institution. They wouldn't know that we were a large institution. Now that we're R1, we've gained a lot of status from that recognition of being a top-tier research program. We've been called one of the programs on the rise in the country, but there are still people who really don't know where the University of North Texas is and what we stand for. So when you get the kind of national exposure we received on television, and for that first round victory over Purdue, which I, I was there for, and it was just one of the most exciting games I ever saw in my life, it puts us on the map in a very real way. And often people see surges of enrollment after that, and people are, you've become a household word, a brand, you're a Cinderella team. There's a real halo effect on that. So I'm hoping that that happens, but second guessing enrollment thing in the time of COVID is a very difficult task.
Well, of course, registration already is kind of iffy, but hopefully this provides an uptick. Do you believe it could provide an uptick?
Well, we've seen that it has.
Okay.
Now, it's been an uptick in applications.
Okay.
And of course, we've admitted many of those students. The question is, will they matriculate? Will they actually come here, go to orientation, get housing on campus? Right now, we're guardedly optimistic. We think this is going to be really good for us with our incoming class.
And historically, we're known as a music or a commuter school. So what does this do for that reputation?
Well, we're less of a commuter school than most people think. Although, of course, as a large public institution in Texas, many people live outside, say, a 5-mile radius and drive here. But we have a lot of, I would probably say the majority of our students live within a 5-mile radius and come to campus. So is that commuting, or is that just living close to campus? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We only have so many residential hall spaces on campus. But we're more residential than UT Dallas or than UT Arlington. So I would say we're going to be known as a great research institution that gives, because of our Hispanic and minority serving institution status, that offers first-generation students and others a chance to get a great Tier 1 education at a very affordable public university that's well known for its research. And I think that's the key here. A high-quality Tier 1 education at a really great price equals opportunity for our students and success for the Texas economy.
High quality education, great price, and a great basketball team.
There you go. And all of that ties together, whether basketball has anything to do with academics or not. There's that halo effect I was talking about. It really brings people in and perks up their interest. We had our website was hit many times as a result of the publicity we received.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. I know all over Twitter, all I could see was "I bleed green, go mean green."
Oh, it was so funny. When I was in Indianapolis, we left the game, and people were following us from other institutions with like Stanford shirts or Purdue shirts or whatever, going, "Go mean green!" They were like so happy.
We flipped them.
It was fun. It was just really fun. So hopefully that buzz and that glow lasts a little bit. I think there's a lot of respect that comes with it, and again, if it puts us on a national, on the map nationally as a great institution, then I'm all for it.
Well, moving on to a more serious side of that, ACU beat Texas in the first round the same way we beat Purdue. ACU's president said they gained $120 million in revenue. Have we seen the same profit, can you say?
Yeah, they didn't gain that in revenue. That was what we call earned media. And they didn't gain that much in earned media.
Okay.
That's a little silly. Okay, I think maybe if you cut that number down by a factor of 10, it's more like what they probably actually received in exposure. So yes, there's a lot of ways to calculate things, and I think they got a little excessively enthusiastic. I can't blame them.
Of course not.
Abilene Christian
Texas.
knocking off UT, come on, that's great. And they got a lot of exposure for it, and we did too. But we're pretty sure we didn't get anything like that level of marketing exposure. So I suppose if you add up every word in print and you assign a $ to it, you might come up with a number that's that crazy. We figure it's more like $6 or $7 million worth of PR. But great PR.
Great PR is priceless.
That's right.
And that party tonight, the celebration, that's going to be worth all of the money in the world to see everyone come together and celebrate Mean Green.
Yeah, and I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a great time. Well, I will let you go. That is all I have. Do you have anything else you would like to say or add?
No, I'm in good shape. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Well, join us again next time on UNTPrez Talks.
You've been watching an NTTV special report, UNTPrez Talks, with Dr. Neal Smatresk.